The tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk, a well-known conservative political activist and staunch ally of former President Donald Trump, has sent shockwaves across the nation. Kirk was fatally shot during a public event at Utah Valley University, leaving a community and a political movement in mourning. But here's where it gets controversial. The suspected shooter remains at large, and authorities are labeling this a targeted attack, raising intense questions about political violence in America today. Charlie Kirk, aged 31, who founded Turning Point USA and emerged as a pivotal figure in Trump's reshaping of the Republican Party through his grassroots efforts on college campuses and social media, was speaking to an engaged audience when tragedy struck. Officials from the Utah Department of Public Safety, alongside the FBI, believe a single gunshot was fired by a lone assailant from a rooftop near the event's venue, specifically targeting Kirk. Though initial suspects were questioned, police have so far not apprehended any perpetrators, fueling a tense manhunt. Eyewitnesses described an eerie calm moments before the shooting. Kirk was actively engaging with the crowd, answering a question about mass shootings when a sharp noise, believed to be the bullet, rang out. Video footage taken by attendees shows Kirk recoiling instantly, grabbing at his neck, followed by screams and chaos as people realized what had happened. A student named Skylar Baird, who was roughly 15 feet away, told local media that despite visible security around Kirk, the event space felt very open and vulnerable, underscoring a chilling reality about event security on campuses. The political fallout has been swift and poignant, illustrating how deeply Kirk's presence was felt across the ideological spectrum. President Donald Trump called this a dark day for America in a heartfelt address from the Oval Office. He linked the shooting directly to what he termed the radical left's political rhetoric, which he blames for inciting violence. Trump described Kirk as a martyr for truth and freedom, urging the nation to confront how demonizing political opponents can lead to such tragic consequences. He vowed that his administration would aggressively pursue those responsible, signaling a potential crackdown on politically motivated violence. Vice President J.D. Vance also paid an emotional tribute to Kirk, recalling their friendship beginning in 2017. Vance highlighted Kirk's unwavering support, intellectual curiosity, and dedication to the Republican cause, describing him as a key figure in mobilizing youth voters and helping to staff the administration. He emphasized that Kirk was more than a political operative. He was someone willing to listen, debate, and learn, traits that made his loss profoundly felt within conservative circles. Kirk's death is not an isolated incident, but part of a disturbing pattern of political violence in America. Recent years have seen attacks ranging from the assassination of a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband to an arson attack on the Pennsylvania governor's residence, alongside high-profile assassination attempts, including one on Trump himself last year. The persistent rise in politically charged violence paints a grim portrait of escalating factionalism. The Utah Department of Public Safety has maintained strict confidentiality to preserve the integrity of the investigation, but confirmed that forensic evidence and video analysis are guiding the search. Surveillance footage shows a suspicious figure fleeing across the rooftop of the Losey Center, the building opposite the site of the shooting. Experts note the calculated nature of the attack suggests the shooter is methodical, patient, and skilled, likening the suspect to a trained sniper who planned the attack to avoid detection. This level of expertise complicates efforts to apprehend the accused quickly, but also hints that the perpetrator is likely known within certain circles, which investigators hope will aid in their identification. The incident also highlights ongoing debates about security protocols at political events, especially on college campuses, where free speech and open dialogue often collide with safety concerns. Some argue the existing security measures were insufficient for the risk posed, while others caution against over-securitizing public discourse, warning it could stifle vital democratic engagement. Charlie Kirk's approach to activism was distinct. His recent American comeback tour, of which the Utah event was the inaugural stop, was designed to foster debate and challenge perspectives through his signature Prove Me Wrong table, inviting opponents to engage directly with him. This willingness to engage openly with disagreement made the attack seem especially cruel and symbolically charged. As the nation watches the investigation unfold, vocal tributes pour in, not only from Republicans but also from Democrats, who, despite political differences, condemn the violence. Kirk leaves behind a wife and 2 young children, deepening the personal tragedy. In light of these events, a crucial question arises. How do we balance passionate political discourse with safety in an increasingly polarized society? Is the rhetoric fueling division crossing the line into incitement? And what responsibility do public figures and media hold? This incident forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about where political dialogue is headed and what measures might be necessary to protect both free speech and human life. What do you think? Is this tragedy a wake-up call about political extremism in America, or an isolated incident that shouldn't redefine debate? Share your thoughts below.